All right, so what we're going to do to answer these questions, because we are dividing, we're going to actually divide each of these as their own fraction. Now, I'm going to ask a simple question. It's a pretty easy question. If I say to you guys, I've got 8 plus 4 divided by 2. Are we all in agreement that this is the same thing as I can get 8 plus 4, that's going to give me 12 over 2, and my answer is just going to come out 6. Yes? Quick maths. We all know how to do this. It's quite nice and easy, right? Or I could actually do this. Instead of doing it 8 plus 4, which give me 12, I can do this. I can go 8 divided by 2 plus 4 divided by 2. I can give them each their own denominator, right? And I know that 8 divided by 2 is 4, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 4 plus 2 would also give me 6. So we can do each of these things individually. We don't have to do them both at the same time. So what we can do in these questions that we're doing now, that I've got on the screen, A, B, C, and D, is instead of trying to solve it all together, we can give each of them their own denominator. So if we try A, I've got x squared plus 2x over x. So I can split this into x squared over x plus 2x over x. And then we can just look at them individually, right? X squared divided by x, that's the same as like bases being divided. Correct. Well done, Londeka. Absolutely. X squared divided by x is going to give me just x plus 2x divided by x. I know that the x's will cancel, but remember, guys, they don't actually cancel. Anything divided by itself gives us 1. And then we're just going to have 2 times 1, which is also just going to give us 2. Okay, so it's not that it cancels, it's just that the answer is 1, and anything multiplied by 1 will give us 2. All right, thumbs up. Does this make sense to everyone? We all good? Okay, beautiful, Zara. Nice, guys. All right, so your job now is to do B and C and D in the same way that ma'am just showed you. And when you're done with all 3 of them, you're going to pop your favorite chat, your favorite emoji into the chat, not your favorite chat into the emoji. Other way around. You're going to pop your favorite emoji into the chat. All right. Go ahead. If you have any questions, I'm available. You can go ahead and ask for those. All right. Ask any question you have. If you have an ask, I'm here to help. I'm quickly going to run and blow my nose because I've also got the flu and my nose is like all stuffy. I'll be right back. My goodness, you guys are super duper fast. Yo, is everybody already done? I don't believe it. Let's give everybody else a few more minutes. Okay, we'll give everyone a few more minutes to catch up. All right, I think we can call it. Yes, let's call that time. All right, let's start with B. If I look at B over here, I can split these into 4x squared over 2x plus 4x over 2x. Right, now 4x squared, I know 4 divided by 2 will give me 2, and x squared divided by x will give me x, plus 4 divided by 2 would also give me 2, and I know that x divided by x, those two will cancel out and give us 1. All right, so my final answer for B is 2x plus 2. Okay, let's look at C. I'm going to get 10a squared over 10a minus 15a over 10a. Right, I know 10 divided by 10 will give us 1, and a squared divided by a will just give us a. But I know that 1a, I don't actually have to write the 1, right? 1a is just the same as a. So I'm going to take that off. All right, so that's just going to be a minus, now over here I'm going to have a bit of a problem because 15 does not, or 10 does not divide into 15. So I need to find the highest common factor between 15 and 10. Who can tell me what is that? The highest common factor between 15 and 10? 5. Yes, absolutely. It's 5. So I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5. Right. I'm then going to get 15 divided by 5 will give me 3 over 10 divided by 5 will give me 2. So my final answer for C should be a minus 3 over 2. Okay, I know sometimes our brain, and I do it too, especially when my brain is moving so fast, I'm like, 15 divided by 10 is 3. We do that often. Okay, be very careful, guys. Don't make that mistake. Okay, make sure that they actually divide into each other. Right, let's look at D. If I do D, I'm going to run into the same problem that I had in C for D. Well, Kali, technically it is correct. You're not wrong because 3 over 2 is 1 over 5. Okay, I mean 1.5. So you're not wrong. Okay, over here I'm going to get 8p cubed over 12p minus 16p squared over 12p. Okay, we're going to run into the same problem, guys, in that 8 does not divide into 12 and 12 does not divide into 8. So we need to find a highest common factor. Who's got a highest common factor for me? Yes, Sinyane, absolutely. Good. I'm going to divide by 4 and divide by 4, right? So 8 divided by 4 will give me 2 over, and Mutabang, yes, that answer also counts. And then I get 12 divided by 4 will give me 3. Now, p cubed divided by p is going to leave me with p squared up top. So my final answer over here is 2p squared over 3 minus, and then again, I'm going to run into the same problem over here. 12 does not divide into 16. So I can then divide by 4 because the highest common factor between the two of them is indeed 4. Well done, Learilwe. Good. So 16 divided by 4 will give me 4 over 12 divided by 4, which is 3. And p squared divided by p is just going to give me p on the top. Right. And I can see here that these two things have the same denominator. So technically, I could rewrite this as 2p squared minus 4p, and both of them have the same denominator.
Recording in progress.
Oh, I forgot to record the lesson. Oh my word, what am I gonna do? I'm sorry, guys. Okay, divided by 4. Divided by 4. Okay, I will explain. Okay, 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. And p squared divided by p will just give me p at the top. Right, now if we do the same thing over here, you'll see if we do a distribution over here, I'm going to end up on this side with 2p times p will give me 2p squared, and 2p times negative 2 will give me minus 4p, and all of that over 3, just like in each of these. So both of these answers look exactly the same. Okay, I just want to get a sense of where we are with these questions. Can I just ask, guys, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Are we comfortable with the answers that ma'am has on the screen? Thumbs up. Are we okay with how ma'am got to the answers? Or does ma'am need to explain again? Are we all good? Okay, lovely. All right, let's do a little something a little nicer, because this seems a little mean to start off with. Okay, can we try question A? The instruction is simplify. Okay, the instruction will say simplify. Now, when we simplify, we want to get rid of all the brackets. We want our answer to have no brackets, no like terms, none of those things. So when we see the the instruction simplify, we need to think take away the brackets. Okay. Oh, excuse me, guys. Okay. So we want to take away the brackets, right? So we are going to take away the brackets by multiplying, because brackets mean multiply. So we're going to take 3x times 4x and 3x times -5. Does anybody want to give me the answer? Anybody want to venture for this? You want to pop your answer in the chat? You can also raise your hand and give me an answer. Nobody's got an answer? What are we thinking? Okay, we are almost there. We may have forgotten one very important thing. Okay, let's go back and have a look again. All right, I know I've got 3x times 4x. I know 3 times 4 will give me 12, right? That will give me 12. But what about x times x, guys? Don't forget the, aha, there we go, Logan, absolutely. So I've got 3 times 4 will give me 12, but then I still have x times x. So I can't just have 12x. I need to have 12x squared, correct? 12x squared. Well done, Logan. That's it. Hi, Cheryl. It's lovely to see you. I don't think I've seen you since you were in grade 8 or grade 7. I can't remember. Okay, so that would be 12x squared. Now I have to take 3x and multiply it with -5. Okay, 3x times -5 will give me -15x. Okay, that is -15x. Okay, let's look at question B. This one is going to be a little bit more difficult, but guys, it's going to be fine. Okay, let's look at, we know we need to get rid of the brackets over here, right? So we're multiplying this 9x squared into the brackets. We're going to distribute. We're going to distribute. Right, now this -4, remember, this is not just 4, it's -4. It's -4x being multiplied into this bracket. So we're going to do a little bit of distribution. Now, I know that our first instinct when seeing that we have to multiply by a fraction, our first instinct is to pull out a calculator. Because I don't know what 9 times a third is, right? But we do know, guys, that the word multiply is also the same as of. Do we know this? Yes? Of is the same as times. Of means times. So if we start looking at this first part over here, without using a calculator, I know that they want 9 times 1/3. This is the same as 1/3 of 9. What is a third of 9, guys? What is a third of 9? 3. Yes, absolutely, Inrati. So we don't really need our calculators, to be honest. We can just say a third of 9 is 3. And then I can work on the x's. I've got x squared multiplied by x. What's that going to give me? X to the power of 3, correct. X cubed. Good. Then we can do the next one. The next one is nice and easy, right? We're just going to get, see if I can remove that. No, it doesn't want to remove itself. Okay, so that little bit is stuck. I don't know. All right, now we're going to get 9x squared multiplied by 2x cubed, right? But because they're both positive, I'm going to get positive 9 times positive 2 will give me positive 18. And then x squared multiplied by x cubed will give me x to the power of 5. All right, now let's go to this side. Again, guys, I've got negative 4 times a half. So what they're asking me for is a half. What is a half of negative 4? Who can tell me what is half of negative 4? Correct. Sure, Illuminati, you're on fire. Good work. It's negative 2. So I'm going to get negative 2. And then I've still got x multiplied by x to the power of 4. That gives us x to the power of 5. Good. So we'll get negative 2x to the power of 5. Right. Then we need to do the last part. I've got negative 4 multiplied by negative 3. That's going to give me positive. A negative and a negative will give us positive. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we need to do the x's. Then I've got x multiplied by x squared will give me x to the power of 3. Okay, am I done? Am I done with this question? Yes or no? No, I'm not done. No, I'm not. Because I can still see that I have like terms. So I need to add and subtract my like terms, right? So I've got 3x cubed over here, and I've got positive 12x cubed over there. I've also got 18x to the power of 5 minus 2x to the power of 5. So I'm going to start with the one with the biggest power, because that just makes my brain work the right way. I'm going to get 18x cubed, x to the power 5 minus 2x to the power 5. That will give me 16. That's it, Logan. Good work. 16x to the power 5. And then I've got positive 3x cubed plus 12x cubed will give me positive 15x cubed. Absolutely. And you're 100% correct. Sibongi Nkosi, Iminati, Logan, you guys are doing fantastic. Good stuff. And that's our final answer. All right. Can I give you guys something to try on your own without me? Okay. I'm going to give you guys something to try. Let's try C. I feel like C is a bit, ooh, C is a little scary, but it's okay. Okay. Let's look at C. Just let me get a gauge of this. Can you guys give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Are we going to be able to do C and D on our own? Thumbs up means no. Thumbs down means, yeah, I got this. Oh, sorry. Thumbs up means, yes, I can do it on my own. And thumbs down means, no, ma'am, help me. How are we feeling? Okay, Liabona says, no, help me. Okay, we'll chat. We'll chat. That's okay. I can help. All right. For those of you who know what to do, I want you guys to go ahead and do it. And then Liabona and I are just going to have a bit of a chat. All right. The rest of you can continue. Bukale and Liabona and I, we're gonna stick together. All right. So before I continue with this, I'm going to go through a couple of things that we need to remember. Okay, because when we're doing algebra, there are certain rules we need to follow about algebra, right? The first rule being that if I have like bases being multiplied, I'm going to keep my base and I'm going to add my exponents. That's how I end up with x squared, right? Because this has an exponent of 1. This also has an exponent of 1. So keep my base of x, 1 plus 1, 2, right? Then I know that if I have like bases being divided, I'm going to keep my base and I'm going to subtract exponents. 5 minus 2 will give me x cubed. These are the two basic ones, right? Now, if I have a base to a certain power, and I've got this in a bracket, but I have a bracket to another exponent. If I have a bracket and an exponent, I'm going to first keep my base. I should not change my base. I'm going to leave my base as x, and then I'm going to multiply my two exponents. So this becomes x to the power of 6. And then I also have that if I've got the root of something, let's make this the cube root of x to the power of 6. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep my base, and then I'm going to divide my exponents. So 6 divided by 3 will give me x to the power of 2. Okay, so these 4 rules basically make up the operations that we need to know in terms of simplification. Then from there, we know that if we're going to add any two terms, they need to be like terms. If we're going to add and subtract anything, we need like terms. So these are all the rules that we need to know. Okay, so if we start over here, first thing I always do is I go in here, and anything that doesn't have an exponent gets an exponent of 1. All right, remember that, guys. If I've got an x sitting all by itself, what is the exponent of this x as it sits on its own? What is the exponent of that x? Who's got an answer for me? Anybody? Who knows? What is the exponent of any x sitting on its own? It's just 1. Correct, it's just 1. Okay, so that means that if I also just have a number, let's say for instance I have 5 sitting all on its lonesome, it too will also have an exponent of 1. If 5 is sitting on its own, in fact any number, the number could be 200. If 200 is sitting on its own, it has an exponent of 1. So everything that sits on its own will have an exponent of 1, which means that this 3 in this bracket over here also gets an exponent of 1. Okay, that will get an exponent of 1. So I see a bracket and I see an exponent on the outside. And according to my rule, first I'm going to keep my base. My base in this case is 3. So I'm going to have 3. And then I'm going to take my two exponents and I'm going to multiply them. So this then becomes 3 to the power of 2 times 1. This is 3 to the power of 2. And there's another base of x. And this becomes x to the power of 2 times 3, x to the power of 6. Okay. Plus. Now, over here, I've got the square root of 16. What is the square root of 16, guys? How much is it? Square root of 16? 4. Good, it's 4. And then we said, when we have a base and an exponent inside a square, what invisible number is actually sitting up top here, guys? On a square root. What's the invisible number right there on top of my square root? Good, Putale, oh, you're on fire, good. It's a 2, so there's a 2 there. Right, so I know that I'm going to keep my base x, and then I'm going to divide exponents. So I'm going to have 12 divided by 2, and this is going to give me x to the power of 6. Okay, all of that minus x to the power of 8x to the power of 4. Right, I know that 3 squared is actually 9x to the power of 6 plus 4x to the power of 6 minus 8x to the power of 4. Now, in this case, I've got these two. I've got like terms, right? I can see my two like terms. It'll be 9x to the power of 6 and 4x to the power of 6. I can add those two, and that is going to give me 13x to the power of 6 minus 8x to the power of 4. That one is not going to be, we're not going to be able to add that one to those two because it doesn't have the same exponent. They're not like terms. All right. Are we together here? Everyone okay with that? Cool. All right. Now over here, I know that if I had two brackets like this, and I told you guys I've got x plus 1 and x plus 5. And I said simplify. How would you guys simplify this? What method would we use to simplify this? I'm sure you guys have learned of it. It starts with an F. With an F. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's it. It's FOIL. Good, it's FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. Right. But let's talk about what FOIL actually does. Right. I know that if I want to use FOIL, I'm actually taking this first and multiplying them, outer and multiplying them, inner and multiplying them, and last and multiplying them. But if we think about it really, what we're actually doing is we're taking everything in the first bracket and we're multiplying it by everything in the second bracket, one after the other. Let me tell you what I mean. I'm going to take x, and I'm going to take x, and I'm going to multiply it with everything in the second bracket. So I'm going to say x multiplied by that and multiplied by that. It must multiply both of them, right? And then when I'm done with x, I'm going to go to 1, and I'm going to say 1 must also multiply x, and it must also multiply 5. So each of them are multiplying each thing in the bracket one at a time, right? So when we get to a question like this, I'm going to take everything in the first bracket, and I'm going to make sure that the first thing multiplies everything in the bracket. Okay, that's basically what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take 3x, and I'm going to ensure that 3x multiplies 9x squared, and it multiplies 6x, and it multiplies 4. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to go and I'm going to take -2, and I'm going to make sure that it multiplies 9x squared, and positive 6x, and positive 4. So each thing in the first bracket needs to multiply one of each thing in the second bracket. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. I'm going to get 3x times 9x squared will give me 27. And then x times x squared will give me x cubed. And then I'm going to have 3x times positive 6x. That's going to give me positive 18. And then x times x will give me x squared. Okay, then I've got 3x times positive 4. That's going to give me positive 12x. All right, and we're done with all the top stuff. Let's go to the bottom. Okay, we're done with 3x. Now we need to multiply in -2. So I'm going to get -2 times 9x squared. That's going to give me -18x squared. And then -2 times positive 6x will give us, a negative and a positive will give us -12x. And then I'm going to have -2 times positive 4. That will give me -8. All right, am I done? Have I done everything? Nope, I'm not done. I need to add and subtract like terms, right? I can see that 27x cubed doesn't have like terms, so that's just going to be 27x cubed, right? What do I notice? Does anybody see anything interesting? Anyone see it? Correct. Plus and minus 18. Correct. Lishavel, I agree with you. They are like terms, but Buchel is onto something. I've got positive 18 squared minus 18 squared. What is 18 minus 18 going to give me? 0. Correct. So 18 squared minus 18 squared will cancel. Do we see anything else that cancels? What else do we see that cancels? Yes, absolutely, 12x and negative 12x. Those two cancel. So 12x minus 12x will give us 0. So the only thing we really have left is 27x cubed and negative 8. So 27x cubed minus 8. How nice is that? Very nice question, yes? Absolutely. All right, let's look at some more simplification. Okay, here's your next one, E and F. All right, are we able to do E on our own? This is just normal FOIL, guys. I'll give you guys some time to do some normal FOIL. Okay, cool. Thanks, Bukhali. Love it. All right. But before we continue, I also want you guys to do F. Right? And when I do F, I know that this is 8a plus 7b all squared. What does that all squared tell me? What must I do? Okay. I can't just decide that I'm going to do this. I'm not just going to go that. Yes, Jenna, absolutely. I can't do that. That's the wrong thing to do. I can't do this. What this tells me is that this bracket needs to be written out twice. It's being multiplied by itself 2 times. Okay, so that means I'm going to do that. 8a plus 7b, and again, 8a plus 7b. Okay, and then I can do FOIL. So I'm going to give you guys some time to do that while I go blow my nose because I've also got the flu. I'm going to put on a jersey. I'll be right back. All right, when you are ready, pop your favorite emoji in the chat. Okay. Sure, you guys are super fast. Sure, well done. All right. Okay, how about let's get into this and then we can get into this tricky one that we've got down here, which is quite nice. I like it. Okay, so I know over here I'm going to do FOIL, or again, remember guys, I'm just taking that first one and I'm multiplying it with that, and I'm multiplying it with that. And then I'm going to do the same with the second one. I'm going to take plus 3x and I'm going to multiply it there, and I'm going to multiply it there. So I'm going to get y squared times 7y. That will give me 7y cubed. And y squared times negative 2x will give me negative 2xy squared. Then I'm going to get 3x times 7y, which will give me positive 21xy. And then 3x times negative 2x will give me negative 6x squared. What else can I do? What else can I do from here? Does anybody see it? What else can I do from this point? Anybody got an idea? Okay, I'll be honest. The answer is nothing. I was checking to see if anybody can see that there are no like terms there. Do we see that? I was trying to trick you guys, and you passed. You passed. Okay, they are unlike terms. Everything over there is an unlike term. Okay. All right. Okay, when we do the second one over there, thank you, Jenna, for helping us out with F, because you've already told us that we need to write it out twice. So you've helped us a lot. Okay, I'm going to get 8a times 8a. That's going to give me 64a squared. Then I'm going to get 8a times 7b. That will give me positive 56ab. And then at the bottom, I'm going to get 7b times 8a. That's also going to give me plus 56ab. And then for the last one, 7b times 7b, that will give me, sorry, this plus is irritating me. I need it to be visible, plus 49b squared. Now, what else can I do in this question? What are we seeing? Correct. That's it, Iminati. The ABs are like terms, right? I'm going to get 56AB and 56AB. Now, in this one, we definitely have like terms. So I'm going to have 64A squared plus 56 plus 56 will give us 112 AB and 49 B squared. Right. Okay, so let's go into this next question. All right. I think I need to do a check-in because we're almost at the end of today's lesson, and I think there is a quiz for you guys. I just need to see if I can find it. Okay. Let's try this last question here. Oh, let me see. Okay, let's try this last question here. It says, from the product of 3x plus 4 and 7x plus 4, subtract 2x plus 4, 2x minus 4. Right, let's start with what they actually mean here. Okay, what does product mean? Who can tell me, what does product mean, guys? Does anybody know? Yes. Oh, Jenna. Absolutely. It means multiply. Right. So they're saying the product of 3x plus 4 and 7x plus 4. So what they actually want us to do in this question is they want us to find the product of these two brackets. And can we do that? Absolutely, yes, we can. Right, we can find the product of those two. We can say 3x plus 4 and 7x plus 4. If we multiply them together, we can actually do FOIL. We can do FOIL. We can do a little top. All right, now if I do FOIL, I'm going to get 3x times 7x. That will give me 21x squared. 3x times 4 will give us plus 12x. I'm going to get 4 times 7x will give us plus 28x. And 4 times 4 will give us plus 16. All right, and then we're just going to add like terms. I'm going to get 21x squared and 12x and 28x, those are my two like terms, right? So 12x plus 28x will give me 40x plus 40x plus 16. That's what I have. Now, the sum says, from the product of this, which is what we found here, beautiful, we found it, we need to subtract that. So what do we notice we also have to do here? What do we also have to do in that one sum? Or in these two brackets over here? We also have to do FOIL, correct? We need to do FOIL again. So we're going to do first outer, inner last. Right, if I do that quickly, I'm going to get 2x times 2x, 4x squared. I'm going to get 2x times negative 4, which will give me negative 8x. Then I'm going to get 4 times 2x will give me positive 8x. Excuse me. And then I've got positive 4 times negative 4 will give me negative 16. And then I'm going to add like terms. I'm going to get 4x squared. And then I'm going to notice that negative 8x plus 8x will give me 0. Because they're the same thing. Just one is negative, one is positive. 0. I'm going to get 4x squared minus 16. All right. So these are the two things that I get from the products of each of these. But that's not what the sum wanted from us. The sum said, from the product of these two things, subtract this from that. So let me ask you guys, if I say to you guys, subtract 5 from 9, what is my answer? What am I actually asking you to do? I'm asking you to take 5 out of 9. So my subtraction actually looks like this. It actually looks like 9 minus 4. Okay. So if I say to you, correct, yes, that's it. It means 9 minus 4. So in this case, they say subtract this from the product of those. So what they want us to do is to subtract this from that. So which one comes first? Equation 1, expression 1 or equation 2? Expression 1 or expression 2? 1, correct. So we're going to take expression 1 minus expression 2. So we're going to have 21x squared plus 40x plus 16 minus, and I'm going to keep this in brackets, minus 4x squared minus 16. And the reason why I want to keep it in brackets is because I then have to distribute that minus in. Okay, so I'm then going to get 21x squared plus 40x plus 16. If I multiply that negative in, I'm going to get minus 4x squared plus 16. Okay. And that's the answer we would get there. All right. I need you guys to add and subtract like terms. I can see here that 21x squared minus 4x squared is going to give us an answer. We're going to get 17x squared. 40x doesn't have a like term, plus 40x. And then I'm going to get 16 plus 16. And that's going to give me plus 32. So this one is a bit of a tricky one. All right. But unfortunately, we definitely are out of time today.